Good morning. Thought I'd do a little short video just to see how you might be able to look for an angle using at the races, which is completely free. Um, I used to look at this quite a lot, and there's some really good information here. Um, let's have a look. I'll do one for handicaps, let's say. Let's have a look at the Chester card. So it's a 3-year-old plus race class 4. You can see the winner prize here, how many are going to run, if there's a draw advantage, what the going is, and the distance. What I like to do is look at, I used to basically just quickly breeze through this, forecasted favourites down below. And sorry, the wife was just calling out there. Just ignored her, so that's not going to go down well. Right, yeah, so where was I? Forecasted favourites, and I'm going to open up in another window. You can't see the actual race on Betfair. I like to look at, let's say, the top 3 horses or top 4, depending on where the money lies in terms of market sentiment. So you've got the Princess Nyla, which is at 3.65 at this moment in time. Obviously, that might drift or drop in odds. Same goes for all the horses by post time. So who we got? Princess Nyla's forecasted favourite as second, and Evocative is currently second in the market at 5.3, and we've got a 72 forecasted favourite. So I'm just going to open up this tab, or you can hover over it and just have a quick look. Let's get some glasses on. Right, so filly, filly, 4 years old. If I look over this, had one and place one in the class at this handicap, placed twice, so it can handle the handicaps fine. If I click on her now and just bring this down so you can see, I'll go into full view. You can see Princess Nyla, or Nyla rather. The race is 10 furlongs, so she's used to running at 10 furlongs. One at Beverley on good to firm by 2 3/4, lost by a length in the last race at Redcar in the class 5, where she was second favourite here. Rowan Scott was the jockey. Now we're switching to Ross Orion. If we go into just enough, I mean, Ross Orion's she's a lovely jockey. It seems like Rowan Scott rather has been the preferred jockey here. First time it looks like Ross is riding this particular horse. If I go up and I want to check the trainer, and I can see his form at Chester. So what I'll do is I'll click on that and we'll look here. Hasn't got any form at Chester. Tends to ride mainly at on all weather, and the 3 turf are Hamilton, Carlisle, and Beverley. Horses, jockeys done well at these courses in terms of, well, relatively well. Hamilton 1 out of 1, 1 out of 2 at Carlisle, and 1 win at Beverley. Nothing at Chester. So for those of you that want to look at the course patterns at Chester to see if they're similar to any of those, then by all means you can look at that. That's just for the last 12 months, of course. If I go, mind you, if I go all time, let's have a look. Now we can see if there's anything for Chester. You may have spotted something before me. I'm just, here we go. So 20 runs, placed twice, won twice. Okay, so it's got a 10% strike rate, decent prize money. Yeah, so in terms of strike rate, not the greatest, but hey, relatively familiar, not the most popular for this particular trainer. If I go and look at the owner of this particular stable, just to see how many wins he's had, so he's had 2 wins over the last 12 months all time. Just going to all the courses all time. Just 2 wins and 4 places in the last couple of years, or year even. Rowan Scott is the preferred jockey here, as you can see. So if you ever see Cam Hardy, decent jockey, but doesn't tend to win. These are his Princess Nyla and Sun Power. So the 2 horses that Mr. Sugarman owns are these 2. I suppose you can say they're relatively successful. Let's just go back and look at Rossa. I want to see Rossa's form at Chester, and also let's just look at her form of late in August. She's got a decent strike rate, anything over 20 is decent. 24 wins, 23 places, decent prize money. And let's have a look at her relationship with this particular trainer, which is Alan Brown. I don't think we're going to find much, are we? Maybe. I can't see anything right now. I may have missed something, but there was, you know, these single races here. If I go up to the higher, Alan Brown, no, can't see anything there, so that'll be interesting. Also interesting to see if she's opted for this particular, so she's run for Ian Williams before, who's on Evocative today, Ian Williams. All I've done is just have a look at Evocative to see who the trainer is, and it's Ian Williams, who's she's got a very good strike rate of 50% with him, but she's she's obviously elected to go with Princess Nyla for whatever reason. Right. Now look at the distances. Lost by a length, won by 2 3/4, lost by 3/4 of a length going into June, lost by 4 here in the class 6. So basically, if you look at the distance she's lost by and also the classes, she's maintained class apart from where she dropped back to this. Then again, look at the going was good to soft. So this horse doesn't like good to soft surface, nor does she like soft. So the conditions are pretty decent. She's also improving as well, so the distance whereby she's lost or won has been pretty decent. So form's good. Form's good. Handicap today, she's at 68 there. So the handicap's well. She can handle that handicap, even though she lost by a length. If I want to see what happened here and why she didn't win, we can read here: disputed early on, raced in second after 1 furlong, edged right and slightly impeded. Okay, so that's quite important, because impeded rival. Sorry, she wasn't impeded. She impeded rival 2 foot and kept on, but always held by a winner towards finish. So maybe the positioning wasn't right here, or was blocked. So what I tend to do with regards to that, if I go into Betfair and I have a look at the last race here, and I'll get an idea.
They're off. So here we go, 11 runners over 1.25 miles. A little bit sluggish in the cheek pieces by Berry Edge in this free racing TV at racingtv.com. Free trial handicap. Sheepskin noseband against the rails. Princess Nyla got a good start. Keeping this one company is See the Storm. On the wide outside, we have got Epi Davros right there as well. The grey tracking this one is Sonning. Towards the inside in the red and white diamonds,
Katie, sold out.
See Lad is right pressure. Princess Nyla trying to get through on the rails. Here on the outside we've got Shimmering Sands, but the leader is still See That Storm under pressure, but still has a length and a half advantage. Princess Nyla has now got running room in second, but has a bit of ground to make up. Shimmering Sands is staying on all the time, but as they come up towards the line, it's See That Storm. See That Storm is hanging on, and See That Storm wins it, leads virtually all the way. Princess Nyla is second. Shimmering Sands.
Rewind a little bit.
Grey Sonning, Red and White Diamonds
Position.
of ET track
So
these.
Princess
Then behind
Nyla
this
there.
one we've got Shimmering Sands in the black with the white spots. And Shimmering Sands towards the
By the
outside.
rail.
We have got
You'll see
Rise
she's got hampered
Hall.
a little,
Behind Rise
coming
Hall in
on
those
the
change of
inside.
colours, Brora Breeze, the yellow and red diamonds.
so she's
And the
stuck
back marker
between
is
these
still
two.
Berry Edge. Into the home straight, just under 5 furlongs left to run. And See That Storm makes the best of his way home. The lead up by a length. Up on the outside in second place is Epi Davros. Third on the inside, a sheepskin noseband of Princess Nyla. Sonning the grey travels well. On the heels of the leaders, Tessie Ladd in the black and white. In the white striped sleeves, that is Shimmering Sands coming on the outside. And then trying to look for room on the inside in the red and white is
So
ET.
kicking on
2.5 furlongs left to run. And See That
edging
Storm
out.
still has the lead. Epi
Finding
Davros now
hard.
comes under pressure.
Potentially,
Princess
I
Nyla
think,
trying to
at
get
that
through on the
horse.
rails. Here on the outside, we've
struggling a
got
bit
Shimmering
there.
Sands,
Trying to
but the
find an
leader
opening.
is still See That Storm
here we go,
under
kicking
pressure,
here
but still
now.
has a
I
length and a
reckon
half
had,
advantage. Princess Nyla has
come
now
out a
got
little
running room
bit,
in second, but has a bit of ground to make up. Shimmering Sands is staying on all the time, but as they come up towards the line, it's See That Storm. See That Storm is hanging on, and See That Storm wins it, leads virtually all the way. Princess Nyla is second. Shimmering.
So it should be in the running there. Has a good chance, I think, and with the experience of Rossa, might be a good one actually. So let's just go back now to compare. Right, so won that race. I'm happy with the distance. Prize money. This is a better race, I believe. It's a 7K prize in this one. Yeah, so we might get, and also it's a 3-year-old plus race, whereas the last one was, let's just check what the last race was in fact. It was a 3-year-old plus as well. Okay, cool. So it's pretty similar, good mix. Actually, one more thing I'm going to check in the last race, the handicapping order. So if I compare this, let's just see. So we can see the horses today, just blind. Here we can see that in the last race, See That Storm was one of the higher rated horses. But generally we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 70s, mid to high 70s even, or mid 70s rather. And today we've got a few more actually. We've got a few more that are in the 70s compared to only 2 in the 60s, late 60s, and one of them is Princess. So it may be that this might be a harder race, i.e. more competition. I'll have a look at the Evocative quickly now, see where she's at. We can see the form's decent. Let's see the form wise in terms of the right. So class 4, class 4, class 4, class 4. So very happy over soft, good to firm, good to soft, good. So the going won't be an issue for this particular horse. However, the distance might be an issue, potentially running at 10 furlongs as opposed to the mixture of 6 to 8, let's say, or 6 to 7-ish. Won at Chester here before, sorry, beg your pardon, ran at Chester here before, came last on decent. Since then moved to a different yard. Got a good jockey on board, quite an aggressive jockey in terms of Sylvester de Souza as opposed to Franny Norton, who's been running of late. It doesn't look like de Souza has had this horse so far. Handicap today is 74, so dropped, or pretty steady if you like. ran at Chester here, so let's just have a look. Okay, it lost by 2.5 over 7 furlongs. And you can see the quality of the horses around. So this race isn't that different in terms of profile of handicap and price, where Evocative came fourth. Close race. So look at this, mid-division, so you can see where this particular horse has been running. Mid-position, ridden and switched right 2 furlongs out, soon outpaced, headway from off-pace, stayed on, never on terms. And this is on a 7 furlong, let alone a 10 furlong race. Let's just have a look if this is again at Chester. Let's have a look at this one. Held up in last trio, so don't expect to see this one running on the inside. There's a pattern here. Pushed over 2 furlongs, went for right. So expect again, pace didn't really challenge, even though staying a little bit behind. It might be that Sylvester tries to take this horse a little bit more forward to stay in the front pack, so have a look for a change in tactic. If he does do that, I'll expect Evocative perhaps to get a little maybe tired. If changing the horse's race tactic from middle to rear and then pushing early, the sectional data will be different, and the horse may not act well on that. So may drop a little in odds, especially if favoured at the start. However, those looking at the speeds on total performance data, they may note that there's a shift in or a drop in miles per hour and so forth. Let's just have a look at one more. Let's have a look at this one. Although racing against what's deemed to be a better race in terms of class, here 4-year-old plus race, took keen hold this time behind leaders, hanging right from 2 furlongs out, stayed on inside, went second. Okay, so here this is an instance where Franny took this horse at the front and preferred it, but again it's over a 7 furlong race. If we look at the different horses, the ratings against a better caliber of horses here as well, the market had as a joint fave with Tropez, so that's interesting. So, and finally what I'll do now is I'll look at Woodstock, who's the third fave at 7.8. So Evocative, Princess, and that's interesting. So we've got Woodstock here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth fave versus third fave currently in the market. Again, that might change. Let's have a look at Woodstock. Hasn't got fantastic form, it would seem, of late. Only 3 runs since May, so for whatever reason, not great. Class 2. So okay, so in terms of class, and if you look at the ability factor, which is the prize money, this horse has won and competed in high stakes races rather. Started out well at Chester, seems to like Chester. 10 furlongs isn't an issue, but form hasn't peaked, and the last run was about a month ago for some reason. So yeah, maybe injury. Sheen had this horse last time, would have expected something better. You can see the rating, what's it today, 77, so it's dropping down in rating, hence the class 5, I believe, today. Let's have a look at what happened here in this race. Chase leaders pushed along 3 furlong, weakened inside the final furlong, so only weakened in the final furlong, up against much better quality horses here, as you can see in terms of rating. Anderleep, let's just have a look at Anderleep, who won this race, just to see what her or his form is. So another quality horse at class 3 and class 2, decent over turf, again has decent ability with prize money. Came second by 3/4 of a length. Good horse, rated in the 90s. so it wasn't really disrespected too much there. So looking at this, if Princess Nyla's really improving, and you can see from here connections, there isn't much. If Princess Nyla, she's going to have to beat Evocative and Woodstock, which are really dropping down in class now. Two horses which have got, on paper, better ability based on other competitive races that they've been in. Let me have a look quickly at she's been backed fairly well as well so far. Very early for me to make any decision, but this is just me showing you a handicap perspective, and that's me not just looking at the top three to see whether or not we've got a false fade. Hard to say in terms of, I think Evocative, I don't think it'll be interesting to see how old is Evocative? 5 years old, to see whether or not this horse can take 10 furlongs or not. So out of these two, I'll probably prefer Princess Nyla and Woodstock, having not looked at the others yet, over Evocative. So Evocative would be a lay. That's how I'd look at this. I'd have another little market check maybe, and I'd make a decision close to the time. But that's just how I would look at excuse me, look at the races for some info, and see whether or not I can decipher potential false favourite. We may even get a drift, as these short, they look quite short. But yeah, we've still got plenty of time. See you later.